guys, this discussion today, this topic today came to me, and I think it's ideal for the end of the year. And I want you to really stick with me with this. And this is the type that you may need to listen to more than once. And of course, as always, share the Power Transformation Podcast. Share this content, subscribe, rate, review, but share, because in holistic health, it does cover a spectrum. But this affirmation today, I create mental pictures daily that show my achievement of future goals, correlates with a practice that I have done for several years, and I hone it each and every day. And it is the practice of visualization. Visualization. Stick with me here on this one, because I know firsthand how visualization works, and visualization is so transformative, and every person has the innate ability to visualize things in their life and they come to fruition. Stick with me on this one. Now, first of all, what is visualization? And the simplest way of putting visualization is it is when you create mental pictures, mental images of what you desire, want, and seek. You literally use your mind and you create scenarios in a positive sense, not overthinking, not the worst case type of situations. No, but you create scenarios where you see yourself accomplishing what is important to you, but you also literally feel it in that moment. You see it and you have this innate sense of where you feel it. It is as if you are visualizing something in the future, but it's as if it's now in the present. It falls along some of the lines of meditation, but the difference is it is a way for you to retrain your thinking and to retrain your mind using your senses. And it's like you trick your mind into thinking that what you're thinking is already here in the present. These practices of visualization are centuries old. They have existed for such a long time in different cultures, in the major religions, as well as the others as well. It is nothing that is hocus pocus. It is nothing that is spooky. It is nothing that people would say it. What I don't want to confuse you with, or something I want to just go ahead and clarify off of the gate, because I have such a diverse listening audience. This is not anything that a person would consider demonic, because sometimes that which we don't understand, we will default and say, oh, that's not of God. And that's not true. In fact, we as human beings, and I will emphasize this forever, we are spiritual beings living a physical human experience. We are spiritual beings living a human physical experience. So therefore, there are certain innate abilities that we as humans already have, if only we would tap into them. And visualization is that. Visualization, for example, say that you have a goal where maybe you never went to college or had higher education, and college isn't for everybody, but this is just an example. Maybe you want to get a degree. You started it and didn't finish, whether it's an associate's, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, whatever. Suppose that you started school and never finished because life got in the way. Well, in visualization, what you would do is you would close your eyes and you would visualize yourself taking your courses, passing your courses, taking part in different activities or things in college, if you choose. But the ultimate thing that you would visualize is in detail, you would visualize your graduation day. You would visualize reading your diploma and seeing on your transcript that degree conferred. That is an example of visualization. Another example of visualization, and this is where it gets personal for me. I started the practice of visualization majorly back in 2012 when I was so sick to a point where I was about to transition to hospice. And when doctors at the time said there was not much more they could do for me, yes, I kept my faith. I prayed to God. I had and still have a wonderful support system. However, I started to close my eyes and really think about me being healthy, being strong, living beyond what doctors said. And yes, in my thoughts as I was doing it, there were thoughts of doubt. There were thoughts of, you're not going to make it. There were thoughts, but I had to choose to let the vision that I saw be greater than those negative thoughts. And as a reminder, 80% of the human thoughts are innately negative. That's a proven fact. We have 80% of our thoughts that are negative. So that other 20%, you have to choose to be intentional about thinking on the better outcome than the worse. So I visualize myself getting stronger. I visualize myself having a nurse. I visualize myself washing myself and exercising and getting stronger and changing different aspects of my lifestyle despite having these conditions that were outside of my control. I visualize myself going out again regularly, having a very active social life, because although I had one, it was sporadic because depending on when I was in the hospital, how I felt, it was off and on. I visualized myself getting off of prednisone that it put so much weight on me and made me so uncomfortable and just made me just so different emotionally even. I visualized myself having more supplements as opposed to actual prescriptions. I visualized myself being far more healed than what I was. Did it happen overnight? No. But did it happen? Yes, it did. And so that practice of daily visualizing where I wanted to be in life has, here's a word, manifested. And yes, there are people who think even saying that word is dangerous or scary or wrong. It's not, because this practice of visualizing, I can go to the scriptures even for this. Listen carefully here. Habakkuk 2, which is in the Old Testament. This is one of my favorite scriptures, but Habakkuk 2. Some people say Habakkuk or Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2, verse 2. It says, "Then the Lord said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. This vision is for a future time. It describes the end and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed." Habakkuk 2, verses 2 and 3. Why do I say that? I say it because, in addition to visualizing, this is where it can also fall into the lines of people creating vision boards. We hear at the beginning of the year so many people who make vision boards. Vision boards are simply where you take pictures and words and you put them literally on poster board. Some do them electronically as well, but on the poster board. And these are images of what you desire to come forth in your life. So it is as if you are creating something that has not yet shown up in the present life you have, but it's what you desire for the future, but you're putting it out there now where you are currently. And if you truly think about it, for people who consistently do vision boards or some type of visualization practice, there are statistics that show that they do end up coming true. They do. Now, how do you do visualization? All right. What you want to do, first of all, is you want to set a clear goal. You want to set a clear goal. All right. So that goal can be that you visualize yourself regularly exercising. How you choose that, it's up to you. So you can set that clear goal. You have a 7-day week. That goal may be, all right, at least 3 times a week, I'm going to exercise. So that's your goal. Then you want to visualize yourself preparing to work out. So to prepare to work out, you are visualizing yourself buying workout clothes if you have to. If you already have them, you visualize yourself putting them on, literally getting dressed in your workout clothes. Then you visualize yourself getting your water bottle ready and prepared. You visualize yourself having a healthy protein snack available. You visualize yourself stretching and doing a light warm-up even before your workout. You visualize yourself, say if you want to go to a gym, but you don't have a gym membership, you visualize yourself walking into a gym. You picture this. You picture yourself walking into the gym, going to the front desk clerk, speaking to them about what you want to do, them showing you the packages, them taking you on a tour of the gym, you signing up. Maybe if you don't want to go to a gym, maybe you have a Peloton account that you haven't used. You visualize yourself going on your Peloton app, choosing the workouts, finding what fits you best. Maybe you want to start going for walks. You visualize yourself walking to a certain street in your neighborhood or going to a certain trail. Then once you do that, as you are visualizing it, you are feeling it as if it were really, truly happening. So you are feeling yourself. You are seeing yourself walking or jogging down a street, walking or jogging past trees in a trail, passing other people. You feel in this mental image. You feel yourself being surrounded by others in a gym, working out. And you literally picture the event happening in your mind, detail by detail. Then I'm going to take it a step beyond this. Once you have that visualization in your mind, write it down. Write it down. It can be on your notes app on your phone. It can be literally on a notebook, on a piece of paper. It can be on your laptop. Somewhere, write down what you are visualizing. And when you write it down, also write down the date that you have visualized it. But the process doesn't stop. It does not stop there, y'all. This is something that you must practice daily. Chunk it. I would recommend chunking it either at the very beginning of each day or at the end. My routine when I wake up is I wake up, I thank God for another day. Then I directly go to my Bible app and I read my devotions and I say my prayers and I read my scripture. Whatever your practice is, you can do that for you. If you meditate, I do, but I don't typically meditate first thing in the morning. I do that in the evenings or at night. But if you meditate first thing, do that. If you get up and you drink water, do that. Whatever you do in your daily morning routine, this is when you want to incorporate your visualization. And so once you visualize it, write it down, because as time goes on, and as you keep this as a common practice, what happens is you trick your mind into thinking it's already existed. And then in that way, you start to take actions in the current present reality to make what you visualize come true. Now, let me go to a more extreme end. Some people may say, well, sometimes you don't always get everything that you want in life. Okay. This is just a bunch of hooey. This doesn't work. Okay. If you're telling yourself already that it's not going to work, then it's not going to work. I mean, let's just be transparent here. Again, what have I said from the beginning that's true is that 80% of the human thoughts are negative. You can look that up. It's research. So, of course, we have to control what we think. I must be intentional of thinking in the affirmative of how I want. It doesn't mean that bad stuff in life doesn't happen. But what I'm trying to say is that we can. This is proven. And as my show goes on, I will have guests who can also talk to this. But my role as a holistic health and empowerment coach and someone who practices these is to help you with these same self-sabotaging and negative thoughts. Because life can beat us down. I have been at a point, even in my own life, where life has knocked me down so much where I never thought I would get back up. But I had to choose to know that God did not create me to simply stand on the sidelines, that God did not create me to simply not share with anybody else what's happening and how to do this and to live out your dreams, to live out your goals. This isn't just to make you feel good. This is what I know. And when my life was literally on the verge of death, of leaving this realm, I had to choose what I wanted to do for the rest of my life when I knew that my life was not over. So whatever your present situation is now, you have the power from within as a spiritual being living in this physical existence to transform your life. And visualization is a start. And if you want to take it deeper into the next level and create a vision board, do so. I create a vision book. That's literally a whole other episode, but I will talk to you more about that. But a vision book is just a little more detailed than a vision board. Just start with the process of visualization. Start with picturing it in your mind, doing this on a consistent, regular, daily basis, and writing down your goals. There are more steps to it, but this is a start. I don't want to just overwhelm you and tell you everything, because if this is new to you, it's going to take some practice and it's going to take time. But even with these affirmations we do at the beginning of this show, it's a start. But I am telling you, no matter how knocked down you've been in life, no matter how many challenges that life has brought you, yes, 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 you have the ability to create the life that you desire, no matter your circumstances. I have literally seen people who don't have all of their limbs win bodybuilding competitions. This is the truth. There is a woman I saw online who is I'm trying to get it right. Is she a quadriplegic or para? Either way, she's a wife and a mom, raising children with a husband, not using her limitations as a crutch. There are people that are 80 years old running marathons who for most of their life weren't physically fit. And it's just not all with fitness. This is literally with anything that you desire. One of my late grandmothers, my mom's mom, got a degree at 69. Yes, she went young as a teenager and in her early 20s. But that was when she went to Howard in the 1940s. Life happened. She had to drop out her senior year, the last semester of her senior year of college. And she was already in the yearbook and everything. And something happened in her life that caused her to have to drop out. And she was that close. Wasn't until she was 69 years old that she got her college degree. She didn't let her limitations stop her. She still had a wonderful life and a wonderful career, but she didn't have that degree. And she still was determined and got it at 69 because she visualized it. She saw it. It never let go. These practices that I'm teaching have been passed on to me from generations. These aren't new age stuff. I had great aunts and a grandma, a lot of the people on my mom's side who were doing these type of practices back in the day, in the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. And now in 2022, it's popular and it's all of the rage. But the point is, you too can do this. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Power Transformation Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow or subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, and write a review. It helps us inspire even more listeners. And don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who could use a little power in their transformation. Until next time, keep bouncing back, keep rising, and be good to yourself and to others.